That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to be yourself and keep it real with us tonight inside of the Quiet Storm. Welcome home. Get comfortable with us, all right? Take your shoes off, relax, and stay a little bit with us. We got company over, y'all. The beautiful lady who was a third of the dynamic group that emerged around 1994. They were based out of Cali, but she's from the Motor City of Detroit. It is nice to welcome Miss Nicci Gilbert with us tonight. But she was a part of Brownstone.
Yes, sir.
And I thank you once again for coming and sitting down with me tonight. It's been a mighty long time.
Yes, it has.
So I want to ask the number one question that most people have been posting up tonight, and that is, what happened to Brownstone? Because the song that we played a little while ago, If You Love Me, then you had Grapevine.
Yes.
Those were your two top 10 hits, probably top 5 hits.
Yes.
And phenomenal. I mean, now you have a phenomenal project that we're going to talk about that's just became nominated for a Grammy now. But what happened to Brownstone?
You know, we were kids. You know what I mean?
How old y'all at
we
the
were
time?
we were very young. The group
Early
started
20s?
when we were in our early 20s.
Okay.
I think I was 22 years old when we started, and you know, we did 2 great albums, and I think creatively we just wanted to do other things. I started doing some acting. I was on Martin and Living
right.
Single, and
You were.
Maxie moved to Europe, and she really wanted to do some. She's from South America. A lot of people don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So she wanted to get into her Guyanese, you know, British colony thing.
Okay.
And, you know, Mimi unfortunately left the group after the first album. So we just kind of had to part ways and grow up a little bit.
Have you ever stayed in touch with them to now?
Absolutely.
Are they still involved with music?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be seeing Maxie next week. You know, we're actually in the process of putting together a Michael Jackson tribute record.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because we thought, you know, when first group signed to his label.
First group. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so we like, hey, you know what? Why don't we tribute this man who changed our lives forever?
Now, Nicci Gilbert has become the creator, the brainchild behind the reality show R&B Divas. I just want to say it publicly, wonderful concept.
Thank you.
I don't know what, maybe you had a great night or a great dinner, and you came up the next day and you said, this is what I need to do, and it was a great great concept, and you have revitalized a lot of careers and a lot of attention to some phenomenal singers, some phenomenal women.
Yes.
And then you hooked up with Faith Evans.
Yes,
a dear
Faith
friend
and
of
I.
ours.
Yes.
And it became what it became. I want you to go online because I'm going to delve a little bit deep into conversation with Nicci Gilbert tonight about R&B Divas, but we don't want to move away from what we talk about around this time of the night. I threw out the question a little while ago. I want to get Nicci's perspective on this before we go into the next song. The question tonight is, if you surprised your significant other with an engagement ring and he or she wasn't happy with the ring, what in the hell do you do? Nicci?
I question whether or not our relationship is about the bling or about what's in my heart and what's in his heart. You know, at the end of the day, the marriage is about, you know, it's a covenant. And the most important thing is the band, you know, the less expensive one.
Right, because it's not about the bling.
Right. The bling is more, you know, something that your girlfriends and your mom and your siblings, you know, can compliment. But, you know, it doesn't replace what's in somebody's heart. And if you're about to get married, you need to be thinking about whether or not you're going to spend $50,000 on a ring or a house.
That's real talk. Call us up. Nicci Gilbert is with us tonight. 1-855-453-6694. Want to know what you feel, how you feel about this. Here's John Legend.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning.
So we're behind the scenes of The Quiet Storm, and I thank you for watching and joining us online tonight. This beautiful lady is Miss Nicci Gilbert, part of the phenomenal 90s group called Brownstone, but the brainchild of the reality show R&B Divas, which was, like I said just a moment ago, phenomenal, wonderful concept. And what inspired it?
Just seeing a void in the industry for really talented people. I mean, we had a lot of housewives and,
Okay.
you know, a lot of other things, basketball wise and things going on. And I just remember thinking this reality TV is an incredible platform. It's a great opportunity for people to share their gifts and their businesses. And, you know, there was a void there. And I've been really good friends with Monifa and Selena and Faith, and I've been friends for almost 20-some years. That is my industry BFF, outside BFF. And I just thought, you know, why not put together something that will help provide a platform for these women, help rebuild their fan bases and establish who they were. And, you know, God got the work in and I got the work in, rolling up my sleeves. I'm a workaholic. People don't know that.
Wow. No, that's great. That's a great thing. Yeah. So the first season included you, Faith, and who else?
Kiki Wyatt. Monifa. Wow. Yes, little baby Kiki. That's our baby sister. Wow. Kiki, Monifa, and Selena. You know, incredible cast of women, real friends, it was organic friendship and sisterhood. In season 1, Faith and I were very hands-on, very involved.
So now, was it scripted or is it free? Or is it
No, it's not scripted at all. I mean, we would just, you know, talk about what we had going on in our lives individually and how it all sort of came together. Initially, when I came up with the idea, it was about a tour. All of us coming together to revitalize our careers and work out and get it together and go on the road. But when, unfortunately, our sister Whitney Houston passed, Faith said, you know what, I got a better idea. Why don't we work this season on an album that we could give to the proceeds to the Whitney Houston Academy in Jersey. Right. And then in season 2, we can revisit the whole tour idea. So we decided to work on this record, which this phenomenal record has been nominated for a Grammy.
No, let's rewind that part again. This phenomenal CD that Faith came to drop off to us has been nominated for a Grammy. That is kudos on top of kudos.
Yes.
I mean, phenomenal record. Phenomenal record. Well deserved.
That record was just, it was all, when you listen to those songs, Loving Me, which is the title track for the show, and Sister Friend and Tears of Joy, it was all so positive, and the tone represented what my original vision for the show was and how we all felt. And, oh, Lord Jesus, by season 2.
By season 2, things have drastically changed. And, you know, unbeknown, I mean, I'm glad that you're coming down to sit with me, but Faith is a dear friend, and she's been by here on a few occasions. But then I finally had a chance to sit down with Selena Johnson. And, you know, I was like, what's going on, Selena? I mean, I've never even seen this side of you. What's happening? And we just seen so much controversy and so much conflict. And, you know, I don't know what happens, you know, creatively and behind the scenes, but from a viewer standpoint, as a grown man, it's a little challenging when you see grown women, not children, but grown women act a certain way.
Absolutely.
And needless to say, African-American women, because our images are so very, very important.
You're right.
Because people are often looking at us and judging us, and they already have a perception about us anyway. So this was like, you know, we already had a couple of other shows that was kind of, you know, on the ratchet side and kind of flaring up. So when, you know, season 1 went by, I'm like, you know what, this is real cool, you know. I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
So what can you say without, you know, exposing all the dirt and the business?
Well,
but what could you really say? What's the real deal behind reality shows? Are they, aside from the creativity, aside from the desire to want to bring out realness, do you think people are directed or compelled or advised to act a certain way in order to do, you know, in order to kind of, I guess, survive on the show or just make it more interesting? Because obviously we want to keep people captivated.
And yeah, I mean, the most important thing for a network or a production company is you want ratings, because without ratings, nobody works.
Right.
And there are a lot of producers involved in this process. You know, Faith and I are executive producers, but, you know, we don't have the ability to stop something from happening. We don't have the ability.
You don't?
No, we do
As
not.
executive producer?
No, unfortunately. I mean, you know, we are supposed to be meaningfully consulted on certain things, but the reality of the situation is after season 1, Faith and I had very little to do creatively with the direction of the show.
Oh, wow.
I've had no, you know, creative input at all. And this of course is not of our choosing or doing. You know, we just, coming into this for the first time, you know, you have to fight, you know, a lot of people to get your point across, or to get what you want. So at a certain point, you have to kind of make the decision to just try and stay in a peaceful place. So for season 2, I think, we signed non-disclosure agreements, so I have to talk around it a little bit. But I will say that I was really surprised at how quickly things turned bad. I mean, from the first episode, I don't know if you watched, but I went to Selena's house, and 15 minutes later, I was told to get out and suck. Not, some things that we won't say on the radio. So right. I kind of knew what the tone was, and I was really shocked because
your work, you had a good association. You had a good.
The last correspondence I got from Selena was, you give to a fault, and you're so, this was after season 1. We were all kumbaya. Of course, we had our moments, but we always kind of walked through them and talked through them. But it got to a point where in season 2, it was like no talking, no negotiating, no. And, just like in I don't know if you watched R&B Divas LA, but, Kelly Price became the sort of, big bad wolf of that franchise. So I think. And
you know Kelly very well.
I know Kelly very well. And it was heartbreaking to watch because I felt like I was watching a 3rd season of myself.
Right.
Well,
I mean, by you knowing her beyond, what we saw on TV, would you say that was real, or was that just for the show? I
have never seen that part of Kelly Price in my life. I know for certain because I had experienced that Kelly, when you have an intellectual property or a thought or an idea, something that you're creating, that's all we have as artists. So Kelly, I know, had the idea to do this production. And when someone threatens to take it or takes it, it becomes a different kind of a situation. You know what I'm saying? Like and really, to be totally honest, you don't see a lot of what leads to people's reactions. You see the reaction, and you see people literally on the verge of a nervous breakdown on camera, right. But you're not seeing
the poke, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Her name is Nicci Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen. She is the brainchild for R&B Divas, one of the executive producers of R&B Divas, and, of course, the other is Miss Faith Evans. So is it safe to say that, well, obviously, I know for a fact because I just reached out to Monifa a little earlier today. She's taping another season. So you guys are still holding a reign of executive producer.
On paper only. Okay. We haven't been involved in any. And again, I say this: this is not something that we chose to do. We can't go in with guns ablazing and say, "Hey, we demand that you let us produce this."
But and I don't want to get into your business, but does the paper turn into the check paper, or does it just regular paper?
Okay. I mean, at this point, people are doing what they pretty much want to do. And I'm hopeful that, they will do what is right and what is on the paper. But as it stands right now, I'd be lying to you if I told you, that I was, the fact is, on paper, yes, contractually, we are producers and, but the reality of the situation is I have no idea what's going on over there.
Well, obviously, we're all taking down certain paths in life for a reason.
Yeah, you're right.
So lesson learned.
Lesson learned. The beautiful thing is that I've learned a lot about producing really great television, and I've had some really amazing conversations. I'm not done with reality TV by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
I think it's an incredible platform. I'm actually in New York because I've been taking some really awesome meetings about, really doing, I think, TV that is organic, where the drama is real, and you're really getting a chance to get to know who these people are and what makes them tick. And
well, I'm glad you brought that up because, that's one of the reasons why I bring a lot of reality up-and-coming stars on the show, because we only see one side of them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of folks are not in the entertainment industry like you. They may be just a regular person who have now become a part of a cast, and we don't know them. So
it's one-dimensional. You can't show three-dimensional people because then you'd be showing like 15, 20 different personalities on a show.
and that's why, actually, this coming Saturday, I'm doing a relationship panel.
Oh.
And on the relationship panel, I have one young lady who kind of gets a lot of interesting reaction, and that's Mama Jones.
Ooh, Poom Kosh. I like her.
Yeah, she kind of introduced me to the Poom Kosh thing. That was pretty interesting. But shout out to Mama Jones. Because, again, I think Mama Jones, either you're going to like Mama Jones or you're not going to like Mama Jones. But I think she gives it to you real straight and honest, you know. She gives it to you right to the jugular. And at the end of the day, Don't we want kind of someone who got to keep it real with us as opposed to giving us a flim-flam situation?
I mean, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I'm a very say it like you mean it person. And the crazy thing about our situation is we had all been friends long before. I mean, these are like 10, 15-year friendships, and we never had what we've had in the one season of R&B Divas. So I think, yeah, it'd be great to have people who tell you like it is and tell the truth. But if you misinterpreted it for whatever reason and certain things are left out and, you know, you get half sentences, then, you know, that could turn bad.
I think the OJs said in their song, "For the love of money."
See, you know what? That hit the nail on the head.
For the love of money, a woman will sell her precious body. For the love of money, we will sell our soul just to get an inch ahead. Not even a lot ahead, just an inch.
You said it, and I say amen, praise the Lord, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Nicci Gilbert is her name, Brownstone. That's where we first became familiar with her and the two other young ladies. But more importantly, she is the brainchild of R&B Divas. And, you know, when you open up Pandora's box, is what I call it. Mm-hmm. Pandora's box is bringing cameras into our space. If we brought cameras into this space and really people really start getting a chance to see what we do behind the scenes, that would be a pretty interesting situation. But you obviously have to be willing to expose yourself.
Yes.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you're working on, but it does take a lot. So if you meet this young lady and she's interested in you being part of the cast, just be understanding that you do have to expose your life.
You do.
A little.
You do. And the thing is, you know, in defense of it, because a lot of people talk about the editing, and I made a conscious decision for season 3 after I saw how it negatively impacted my business and how, you know, I don't want my mom and my aunts and, you know, my daughter-in-law and people to see that image of me. We live in a world where things go viral really quickly. So when I started Googling myself and I started seeing horrible, disgusting, terrible word, I was like, oh, my Lord Jesus. Then you have to make a conscious decision. Yeah. Anytime you do reality, there's a chance that it'll go great, and there's an equal chance that you will end up changing your life forevermore. And you have to really be very conscious about making that decision, and don't make it based on money.
Well, that says a lot about a lot of things. Whether it's reality TV or you trying to get a record
deal. You got to leave some money on the table.
You better put it in the bank or give it to your auntie or grandma and have her put it in a safe place. That's for sure. Because it really is really different these days. You know, when you emerged in the 90s with Brownstone, we didn't have social media. You know, social media right now is like, it could work for you and against you. Yeah. Obviously, radio folks, we're safe. But those of you who venture, into TV, obviously you're dealing with a much more larger audience, and people just coming at you really, really strong. But it's a great avenue, and I think that might be one of the other reasons why you appreciate reality TV, because you understand how much it connects to such an international and broader audience beyond the TV.
Absolutely. And I mean, look at this. I was feeling kind of down in the dumps a little bit because I was like, you know, this isn't how this was supposed to go. And then when I found out Friday night that we were nominated for a Grammy and we could quite possibly win Grammy for Best R&B Album, I said, you know, sacrifices have to happen in order for us to. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are working and feeding their families, and it's working for the better for more people than it is not.
Let's talk about the phenomenal album and project. How much creative writing did you guys do?
I was the executive producer of the album along with Faith. Wow. You know, she brought. You know, she looks out for me. We look out for each other. So I'm definitely the executive producer of the record. I wrote two songs. Okay. Performed on 3 songs. "Loving Me" was just the title track for the show. I wrote with my girlfriend Belle Johnson and PK. So it was a wonderful project because literally each of the women wrote and contributed their own song. And for Faith too, she could have done a Faith Evans album. You know, everybody loves Faith. Everybody want to hear that. Sure. But just the fact that she brought this idea to us to do this, and everyone, this is really something that we can all share in. And the tone of this album, Sister Friend and Loving Me and all of the inspirational, just really powerful songs, that's what this is about, you know, and it reminds me of what the show was about in season 1. And
that's what the mission of that's what the mission still is about when it comes to the project. So congratulations on the brand new Grammy nomination. Yes. I know it's going to do extremely well. And how can it not? I mean, good music is good music at the end of the day. And when Faith came in to bring it to us, we knew that it was going to be that impactful because of the amount of talent. Not only does she bring, but you bring, and the host of other ladies bring to
Kelly.
the table.
I'm sorry, I forgot Kelly Price.
It's also
and Fantasia are both a part of the project
right,
as well.
Right, and you know, it's unfortunate though that things started to unravel with R&B Divas because again, we really didn't know about it. I mean, I kind of had a little taste of it because Jamie Foster Brown is a good friend of mine, and you did a nice exclusive interview.
Okay, let me say this.
Okay,
let me say this, please. Let me say this, and I've said this to Jamie. I love you, Jamie, but it was really Jamie and I were having a conversation because I've known Jamie is like my auntie Jamie. So she caught me at a time where I was really broken about it. I mean, it really literally almost drove me to the point of a nervous breakdown. I'm not going to revisit the negativity, but I was just venting with Jamie. Like, and Jamie, like, literally, made it an exclusive. And I have gotten so much flack.
Really?
Oh, my, are you kidding me?
From who? From the obvious?
There I go. I can't do too much talking, but no, I mean, like, I'm like, Jamie, you about to get me not paid, Yeah, and I understand it was coming from a place because Jamie knows all of us and she loves all of us and she really wanted to see us, reacting differently. There were some really terrible things, some awful things that occurred, and Jamie was really affected by that. And I love her and I appreciate her, but yeah, that was not. I would have probably said it a little more politically correct if I knew that it was going to go to all of the readers of the magazine. But I don't live in regrets. I think everything happens for a reason.
Well, you know what? It's better that I know it's regretful in some way, but it's nice to kind of get it out and get it just off your chest, and you can close the door and just move on from this point. Nicci Gilbert is her name. Brownstone is, of course, the foundation that she started upon. And she's been doing a slew of other things over the years. I want to I know we're getting ready to go back on air, and we'll continue the conversation about our topic tonight. But I would consider you still a newlywed because you've been married for 4 years, even though her and her husband Lenny has been together
my soulmate,
for 9 years. It's still, once you cross that level, and I commend you guys for crossing that threshold, because a lot of folks, after they go up through a period of time, they're like, oh, well,
why get married?
Exactly. So I commend you guys for doing that. Black love does exist. Black love is alive and well. Although the statistics from a divorce perspective is alarming, and I have a problem with that as well. But I believe in the institution of marriage, even though I've never been down that road before. I believe in the institution of marriage, and I love it when couples are able to survive, because nothing's going to be perfect, and not every road is going to be smooth.
You're right.
But the test of the relationship, in my opinion, is how well you overcome the obstacle.
And that is exactly what has made our bond so strong. My husband and I are partners in every way.
That's great.
We have gone through, this is the man that's been rubbing my back, in the mornings when I woke up. It's all that terrible stuff. And just even financially, we've had our ups and downs. And I know hands down, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that man has my back.
Yep, got your back. That's what's up.
And he know I got his.
That's what's up. See, that's the life partner to you. That's the ride or die for real talk.
Yes.
I'm Lenny Green. This is the Quiet Storm Behind Scenes. Nicci Gilbert is in our company tonight. We're talking about engagement rings. So if you gave your significant other an engagement ring and it wasn't to their liking, what would you do from that point? I know what I would do. We ain't saying I do.
I want to know.
We ain't saying I do. I can tell you that much. It ain't going to happen. Let's go back on air. 107.5 WBLS. Oh, my. Welcome inside the Quiet Storm, baby. This is Confessions of Love, and we have Miss Nicci Gilbert, who came to our attention initially by Brownstone, the group from the 90s. Yep. But what you may not know, if you didn't look at the credits, is that she is also the executive producer of R&B Divas, along with Faith Evans. And I hope that you were watching and listening online. If you weren't, after this interview is over, you can go to lennygreen.com and click on, and you can rewind the entire conversation of what we had off air. And I think you'll find it very enlightful of all of the trials and tribulations that has been taking place with R&B Divas. But you know what? I'm happy to say that, and you announced a little while ago that the album, the CD album that has been produced called R&B Divas is nominated for a Grammy.
Yes, Lord.
And that is a wonderful thing. This is the first for you.
No, this is the second.
Oh, really? What was the first?
This is the second. We were nominated for If You Love Me. Brownstone was nominated.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, you know what?
I am a two-time Grammy I think I'm a two-time Grammy nominee. I think Selena is a two-time Grammy nominee. I know Faith is as well, and Kelly. So we got a couple of two-time Grammy nominees.
You know, that's a wonderful thing. And, you know, we need it to happen, though. You know, because these ladies are truly deserving of the Grammy, of that wonderful status quo. So I keep you in prayer and know that things are going to work out for you and the ladies. But congratulations on a wonderful accomplishment. I'm sorry that things have gotten raveled and out of control with R&B Divas. But, you know, unfortunately, the lesson learned.
Lessons. And I want to go on record and say tonight on your show, I love you, Selena Johnson. I love you, Monifa Carter. I love you, Kiki Wyatt. I love you, Angie Stone. I love you, Faith Evans. I love you, Kelly Price. Any woman associated with this brand, I love them dearly. And I think that I know that there are great things in store. And just because it didn't work for me or Kelly or Faith or whatever, it doesn't mean that it can't work and it can't get back to what we had in season 1.
But before I get back into the question, what's the lesson rule that you can pass to everyone based on the experience that you've been through?
Just know that in reality television, it's not always going to be fair. It's not always going to be something that's going to show you in a positive light. You have to have a strong stomach for it. And you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are so that when the camera stops rolling and the judgment on Twitter and in social media cranks up, you know, you don't lose it. Because at the end of the day, you have to be rooted in your faith and you have to know who you are. And you can't let it make you bitter.
It's like a relationship.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? So
even with somebody who brings you a bootleg ring.
Whoa. Yeah, you know what? I remember, because I was engaged a while ago. So, you know, I couldn't afford too much, you know. So it was probably the size of a peanut, you know, a small peanut. And
that's not bad. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, okay. I said a small peanut. I didn't say a walnut.
That's a small peanut.
Yeah, the clarity on her diamonds is blinding me. So the bottom line is, I think she accepted it well. It wasn't about the ring for her. It was just the career, because I was just getting started in the career. But I don't think the ring really matters. But in today's society, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people are material.
You're right.
And, you know, obviously, because the way how society has, you know, formed the whole marriage situation, because men don't get diamond rings.
Well, some men don't. I've seen a few.
Well, yeah, but very few. But even engagement, you know, we don't, like, men don't get engaged. Think about it. We give the lady the engagement ring.
But y'all get breakfast. Y'all get midnight loving.
Is she going there?
Y'all get.
Is she going there with that? But it's a reciprocation, though.
Yeah, it is.
You're getting that, and you got the diamond ring.
You're right.
That's worth quadruple, because diamonds never depreciate. I did read that chapter.
Well, I mean, you know, and it is. We do put too much stock in that.
Nicci Gilbert is with us tonight inside the Quiet Storm. 1-855-453-6694. Give us a call if you'd like to get up close and personal. We'll continue the conversation in a matter of moments. Sit back and enjoy. We're going to. I just want to ask you a couple of questions before I want to take a break for just a moment. In regard to our topic of discussion tonight, Confessions of Love, it is the principle at the end of the day. But I do feel that we're living in a materialistic society. And because we're living in such a materialistic society, people are under the impression that that's love. It's almost like, and I know this is kind of weird and crazy, they almost think that in abusive situations, when you're abused, that's a form of love. So when you get out of that abusement situation, and that person that you meet next is respectful, it's like, oh, well, you really don't love me, do you?
That's
because
crazy.
You've been so accustomed to certain things. And I think, unfortunately, the way society has built and has flourished to where we are right now, if I ain't bringing out 5 carats, it's like, well, I guess, is this all you can do? And that's moving away from the most important foundation of what the institution is all about, in my personal opinion.
Love and partnership.
Yeah. Well,
Love and partnership. And it's unfortunate. You know, I always say play the joke. You know what I mean? Like, give them the bootleg ring and see if they say yes first. And then give them the big ring.
That's
because
very
we do get, I think people get really caught up in it. And that's the first thing that everybody wants to see. Let me see the ring. Let me see the ring. You know, and at the end of the day, it means nothing if the man is not committed. You know, I have seen so many relationships with women who have the ring and the house and the car.
Yep.
Portia Stewart, I'm not trying to call her out.
Right.
I'm not trying to call her
that's
out,
real
but
talk.
let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, that's real talk.
You know, you want somebody who, if at the end of the day there's an earthquake or a natural catastrophe or something, you want somebody going through the roughage trying to find your behind, not finding the ring.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
irrelevant.
Yeah, it's totally irrelevant. So I think that people get married too quickly, and I think that people get married for the wrong reasons. I didn't get married until I was 39 years old. You know?
Well, look,
So
I mean,
knew then.
and that's a wonderful thing. Did you know? Because I know guys, and I'm amazed when guys say, I knew she was going to be the one. So did you know?
My husband and I actually knew, I think around the same time, Mel's Diner in L.A. on Sunset.
That's
You know, we sat and talked. Well, we had actually met a couple of times actually in that serendipity, because he's from Philly, I was from Atlanta, and we happened to be in L.A. Both times I was with Faith, and both times we were there at the same time and had no idea.
Wow.
And we sat and we talked for 5 hours. And I remember him saying, I said, well, tell me about your mother. And I was like, is she pretty? He was like, she's beautiful. She's the most beautiful woman ever. I was like, uh-oh. And then he gave me books on our second date. And I was like, this is my husband. I am marrying this man. Because he had talked about how these books changed his life. You know, 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, wow. By Robert Greene.
Yes, absolutely. And I was like, oh, he's intellectual too. And he fine.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he going to put a ring on it.
He's a Lenny. He's a Lenny.
He's a
a
Lenny.
Lenny. I tell you, Lenny's win. I'm telling you.
Yes.
But we the trials and tribulations that we go through in life.
Especially y'all bald ones that look the good looking ones.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, but men don't get the same kind of accolades like women do. If we got in one day half of what you guys get, I mean, look, no one gives me compliments. I can sit and stand against the wall. Beautiful lady walk by. She gets like 10, 15 compliments. Now, granted, all of them may not be warranted. All of them may not be great.
Or appropriate.
But you get them.
Yeah.
We walk back and forth. If we keep walking back and forth, y'all going to start saying, yo, what's wrong with that dude?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. So, we get such a bad stigmatization. But if we had just as many accolades as you guys, I think we would be just as, I don't want to say cocky, but I would say that we would be just as proud most of the time, and we probably wouldn't have a lot of insecurities. Because sometimes you ladies y'all can load it up. Y'all can load the guns up and
I don't think
right
my husband, I'm cut from a different cloth, I think.
That's great.
Because I just believe that, you should always compliment your man, and you should get equally as many compliments.
Got any single girlfriends in Atlanta?
Actually, I do. I'm sitting here like, I can think of a few that I could definitely, you're going to have to come visit.
Hey, I'm coming to the ATL. I'm going to make that trip.
I might have a couple in New York. Let me think about that. Yeah, I think, and that's really, I think that's the best way to sort of meet someone. You know what I mean? Right. Mutual friends who sort of have an idea.
Well, so what do you feel that the best way for people? I mean, you said that that's a great way because you're getting paired up by people who kind of know two elements. But a lot of mature people these days are going to online dating because they say that, you don't have to meet the person right away. There's no false presentation. You can kind of ask them a million questions and not feel intimidated as you may be on a first date and you don't know them or you meet them cold. How do you feel about online dating?
I think online dating is okay, but I think you lose a person's energy over the computer. You know what I mean? Like,
no
people
question.
can think a lot about what they want to say.
Impersonal, right.
It's impersonal. You need to sort of, and I've always said that about myself. Like, you see a person in pictures and things, you want to make sure that that there's energy and there's a life force. I know it sounds a little deep, but there's a life force and an energy in how people react to the things that you say.
Well,
and how,
I agree, Nicci. I'm not,
Are you online dating?
No.
No?
No. I am not. I know a couple of buddies who want to get me online dating, and I'm like, yo, dude, I'm not trying.
Try it. I mean, it could potentially work, but I think that meeting a person, you still have to have that experience. I think talking on the phone. My husband and I were long distance for several years,
wow.
And talking on the phone, I think, is really effective. So I don't know if they do that in the online arena or if it's just chatting back and forth by the keyboard.
I have no idea, but I commend y'all again for, so it was a long distance relationship.
It was a long distance relationship for a while. And thank God, we were able to see each other almost every weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a blessing. Long distance relationships is not
why? You
work.
could get on the phone, but that's better than online because you're talking.
I had a bad experience, Nicci, so I don't want to go through all. I don't want to.
Now, see, that is the problem with a lot of us who are of age.
Okay.
We have had a few bad experiences.
Okay.
And we're like, I ain't doing that no more. And
we get turned off by it.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. Every situation with every person is different.
This is point noted.
No generalizing here.
Poignant. Point noted by Nicci Gilbert tonight. Yes, I got it. So basically, you said turn the page, and if it should happen,
then turn the next page.
Then try it, right?
Yeah.
Then try it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a sip of wine and consider that.
Cheers.
As we go online. I mean, live. .5 WBLS, inside of the Quiet Storm tonight. And online tonight as well. I always say that you get more in-depth information online. So the wonderful thing about tonight is that you can rewind and you can catch the conversation when you get a chance of that Nicci Gilbert and I has had regarding R&B Divas and regarding what's happening next. And more importantly, the Grammy nomination for R&B Divas, the brand new CD. And if I know a great majority already have it in your collection, but in case you don't have it, it is available, and you need to make it a part of your collection because it is phenomenal music from some phenomenal real divas. I'm talking about divas of R&B, and they are, you guys bring it. I mean,
yes.
At the end of the day, that's all I can say. You guys bring it. My first love was singing. I don't sing anymore. But I have a strong appreciation for those who sing, and be it man, be it woman. If you bring it, wow. The only thing I can do is sit back and enjoy the blessings and the gifts that you have. So I commend you, and I wish you all God's blessings as you continue to move forward. And I know things are going to just continue to blossom and grow for you in great ways. And this experience that you went through in the past is just going to be a mere bag of shells. That's it.
It's a lesson, and I don't regret any of it because it's made me stronger and smarter.
Right.
Like the sister friend, I go quoting them that Grammy-nominated album, Stronger, Wiser, Oh So Beautiful.
Sister friend.
Provider, survivor, yes.
Shout out to Miss Tori Beasley. But Sister Friend is a song about what?
It's about everything that the show was in season 1. It's about understanding and loving each other and accepting each other through our flaws. Loving and valuing each other, and the lyrics are so powerful. And I just remember the session with all 5 of us there. And okay, I'm not going to get all emotional on the radio,
right,
but
no. It was a special moment.
It was so incredible. Moment. It was so Shep Crawford and Gordon Chambers. And it just, it says, I'm going to hold your hand and I'll always be there. So
shout out to Gordon because Gordon is listening tonight. And
hey, baby.
He is a phenomenal producer and songwriter, and he knows how to bring the talent together. He knows how to get the best out. So
Gordon did If You Love Me for Brownstone.
That's right. Another guy who just keeps getting checks. I get it, man. I got it. I understand. Yeah, he's phenomenal. Really phenomenal. Well, Nicci, this has been a wonderful experience.
Yes.
And we should mention, I've been holding out for a moment. You heard about the trip to Jamaica.
Woo.
We are in the process of just starting to unfold some of our special guests. Miss Nicci Gilbert will be performing on the beautiful island of Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
So that's happening May 1st through the 4th. And you deserve a vacation. There's so many days and months and years that go by. You keep saying you're going to treat yourself. Well, I hope that you consider treating yourself to this vacation. We will all be down there. The WBLS family will be down there. And it's nice to have Miss Nicci Gilbert. This is going to be a great treat for all of us.
Yes,
I can't wait to see you in performance.
Yes, I can't wait to get out there and perform.
I know that's
Have
right.
a good time with y'all.
For sure.
And catch some rays.
Of course. Log on to WBLS.com to get all the details about our wonderful trip to Jamaica. And happy holidays to you.
Same to you.
May 2014 bring you and your husband and your family much, much happiness and love.
Oh,
For
thank
sure.
you. Thank
Come
you.
on back and anytime you like.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nicci Gilbert, baby, from Brownstone inside the Quiet Storm. 107.5 WBLS.